All right, we're inside the Kraft Center, one of the top basketball facilities in the country. The problem is, I don't have a key to get to the inside. But I know a guy. What's happening, John?
How are you?
Thanks for having us over here.
No, we appreciate you guys being here.
I heard a heck of a lot about your office. Do you mind if we get a sneak peek?
Before we go in, my wife calls me a whore. But I've done this for 30-some years. I'm not going to go because then everybody will think I'm 90.
Yeah.
But I've done it a lot, and you collect stuff along the way.
I love it.
But I think it's organized chaos.
I love that.
So that's what you'll see when you get in there.
Let's go.
I've never coached a guy that battled, that would fight like crazy like this one. And I've never coached a more self-assured player as that one.
What was it like when you saw him win?
It was.
Especially his journey from injury.
Yeah, and I was there. I can remember going to an exhibition game with his dad where he couldn't make a shot. He's looking at me like, I can't make a shot. And then the injury, and he used it as fuel. They called him the bubble thing.
Yeah,
come on,
yeah,
man.
Bubble Jamal because of how he played in the bubble.
I mean, that's who he was.
Yeah.
Just a great story. He's ambidextrous, okay, which I didn't know at first. So he goes in a practice and is falling down with his left hand and flips one up and misses it. And I blow the whistle. You're kidding me, right? You actually tried to shoot that? He said, I can make that. You can't make that. You better not. I better never see that shot. Well, in the bubble, he falls lefty and flips it and banks it in. Immediate text after the game. You did see that, right? You saw that. So it's. I'm happy for him, his family.
Yeah.
How they invested in their son, what it meant to them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to see stuff.
Big things for Jamal Murray this season as well. All right, let's go into this office now. I'm a big collector. I love memorabilia. I've heard all the hype. This is really impressive.
This wall is the one that it means the most for all my teams that I've coached over the years, and all the players' names and what they did, their records and all that. So that to me is the most important.
Where you got your start, of course, on the right side with UMass?
Yes, the Kentucky stuff in the middle and the Memphis stuff. And it's funny when you see even what the players look like, how they stood, you could tell who was the aggressive guy, who was and who grew from there. So, the
Fame, of course, in 2015.
Yeah, this was, for me, to have that many players come and be a part of it, and didn't know how many, and that was, to call them up was just a last second.
Yeah.
Like, I just said, why don't you guys come up? And they all came up.
But what does that jacket mean to you, considering your journey and where you were, how things started at UMass, then going, of course, to the NBA, and then coming back with the Sixers under Larry Brown, and then going to Memphis, Kentucky? What does that jacket mean to you?
Well, I never coached with any thought that I would ever get in the Hall of Fame. I don't see myself as the great coach. I don't. I'm here to help kids, but my first interview, press conference, was in the old Hall of Fame when I was hired at UMass. So, and I never at that time, you don't coach to be in the Hall of Fame. You hope when your career ends, you have enough stuff that you would even be considered. And I probably speak for about every coach out there that would be nodding their head. But I've been blessed. I've been blessed with really good players, and my best players have all been really good guys.
Yes.
That if you don't have that, you could have really good players and your best one's a jerk. You're not doing what we've been able to do here in other coaching stops.
So I notice you have basketballs, you have rings. What's the
now?
one
When you
thing?
look at this, my wife says you're a hoarder. Does this look like I'm a hoarder?
No,
Maybe it
actually,
does.
this is organized chaos.
is it
I'm
pretty-
100% with you.
Okay, it's organized.
As somebody who has a man cave and fights with my wife about that, I love this experience.
Okay, so those are the final 4 rings.
Let's go check it out. Show us.
Yeah, and the final 4 rings and the national championship rings, some coach of the year stuff and all this. Little Wayne came in my office and then we got that. He and I met. He had, what impressed me the most, he had 10 or 12 people with him, all from New Orleans.
Mm-hmm. That was his
All
group.
his-
Yeah, his group.
And now he went from 14 to now I believe he's about 33, 34.
Yep.
And he still has the same group?
Yep.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Like for me, that family, that means something.
That
to me.
loyalty.
And I
carries
just
weight.
said, I'm always in your corner because of how you are and what you're doing. And so anyway, and this was the group I recruited when I was an assistant at Pitt. Somebody sent me that poster, and I had it framed. But
That's incredible.
some rings, some draft day stuff, my wife gave me these because it's a watch box, but I had watches in cups.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're coaching,
them, yep.
you get NCAA watches, you get watches for different tournaments,
Uh-huh.
different things you're in. They all give you watches.
The Conference USA watch you can see, right?
You know, you do something, they do it. So, and then
The basketballs are incredible. I mean, they all stand out. Is there one basketball to you look at and you're like, yeah,
the national championship,
Let's go
that
see
one there. But you know, so these are, again, when I went to Memphis, we started this, but we didn't play ranked teams that much.
Yep.
So we had there were 4 or 5 significant balls. Now you come here, and every game seems to be ranked or your conference tournament championship stuff, and then number 1 teams in the country that we beaten, that were number 1 in the country, and then this is that ball, the national championship ball. These are all Final Four balls, and then just you see different, the Champions Classic, the CBS Classic, wins, and so. And it's done. I don't know. We have the Global
Steelers
Jam.
too? You got the Steelers?
I grew up in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin is like a dear friend, and so yeah, I've been a.
Do you talk to him about coaching?
Yeah, we do, but it's not
Steelers.
It's
Stillers. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm on the other coast. I'm
okay.
the Eagles guy,
yeah.
so I get it.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it's the Steelers, and so I was able to golf with President Obama. Just a quick one. They said he drives the cart. I'm like, why would he drive the cart? I'll drive him.
Yeah.
Well, he never drives anymore because he always gets in the back on the right side. And
Yeah. This is his way to do it.
that's when he drives. So he played good that day. And,
How'd you play that day?
let me just say the last shot, I won the money.
In the end,
The
exactly.
two guys we were playing, his cousin and Robert Wolf were with us. And they were playing against he and I. And I hit the last shot.
Is there something in this room that would surprise people at home watching? That you have a collection or that you have one piece? I notice you have a guitar over there. You're big into music. Is there something that you're like, yeah, this is different. This
Well,
is
I
me.
got all my family pictures up there. They're all there, and
Yeah.
you're seeing all this, and that's the important thing. Well, let me just show you these. These would be surprising to you. Obviously, like maybe the 2 greatest ever.
Mm-hmm.
This was in our office, as you can tell.
It's LeBron James and, of course, Michael Jordan.
That was there. But when he was still alive, this is his favorite photo of all time.
Muhammad Ali.
And he signed it for me. And then this shows exactly how far ahead. Could you imagine Muhammad Ali with social media and all this stuff?
He would dominate.
It would be like, what?
Exactly.
And this picture was taken in Life magazine. And they asked him, how your quickness?
Yeah.
And he said, I train underwater.
Yep.
And everybody went for it. Here was the problem. He couldn't swim.
Really?
So, no. So if you see where the water is,
it's enough to pop up.
he didn't train underwater.
Yeah.
But now they said, well, can we come and watch you? So he went in the shallow end. He went under and he,
Yeah.
to make sure. So he was so far ahead of his time. That was his funeral. But yeah, it's organized. One other thing, the shoes.
Got to be the shoes.
The players, said different stuff. Drake, who did another thing, he's putting out.
Yep.
But these shoes, he had like 80 pairs made, and he didn't send me in. I said, he called them the Coach Cal pack. I said, "You're what?
Exactly.
Where am I?"
Yeah.
So he sent me a couple and he signed it. But Kobe's daughter, Natalia, came in and did a women's basketball clinic for us through the Mambasita Foundation. And she got me these shoes, and I had her sign it. She said, "This is my first autograph ever." So I said, "Well, then you're really signing it."
Yeah.
Sign those. And so I just mess around with stuff.
And you have a backstory with Kobe when you were with the Nets.
I was going to draft him.
Yeah.
I was going to draft him 7, and everybody was saying you're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, they weren't drafting,
Yeah,
high
this
school.
was the year after Kevin Garnett, and then everybody was trying to figure out what to do with the one-and-dones or the kids that are coming out immediately.
All right, so he comes in. And when I worked him out, he was 17.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he wasn't 19. He was 17, not just turned 18. No, he was 17. And I worked him out, and I said, "This is ridiculous." Now, you have to understand, I'm a college coach, coaching in the NBA for the first time, first draft. These owners said, "You have the ability. You're the president," or whatever they named me, and coach, and I brought him in, and I'm like, he's by far the best guy I worked at.
Mm-hmm.
And that you don't understand. You can't do that. This is your first job, your first thing. I brought him in again. I brought him in a third time because I'm thinking, I got to be missing something.
Yeah.
And in the end, I said, and then you had people calling me, and Arn, who I'm friends with, "You don't take him, he'll go to Italy." I don't care if he goes to Italy, go where he wants to go. But if we want to draft him at 7, we'll draft him. But I settled to the owners, okay, here's the deal. If I can get Kerry Kittles at 7, I'll take Kerry. If I can't get Kerry at 7, I'm taking him. And that's the end.
Kerry was available.
And Kerry was there, and Kerry ended up having a career and all that stuff. He was ahead of Kobe for a couple years because Kobe was 17 and 18, but when he turned 19 and 20, 21, then Kobe was off the charts. We're in a huddle. This was the play that ended up ending the game when we played Kansas for the national championship. We're in a huddle, and we said, "He's going to go back door, Michael. Your guy is going to go back door." Are you listening to me? Yes. They're going to do this, and he goes back door. He did, and Michael got beat. But he didn't stop, and he blocked the shot on the other side of the rim, which was the game. And he came over to me, "Coach, I apologize. I can't. I said, "Are you nuts? You blocked it on the other side." So that's a picture that I wanted up here to remind me. And that was John Wall's dunk.
Yep.
We hear all about the ESPN SB's shot that they make.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that one there, he took off and dunked on their team, their cheerleaders, whoever was near there. He dunked that lefty, flying down the court and dunked it. Anyway,
Take us to the lounge.
all right. So let me explain. This has been totally redone from what it was. It was kind of carved up and old school. You know how you have the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room. Now you just open space. So we kind of changed it up. The fob to get in or the eyes, so they can go like that, and the eye goes and lets them in. And so the first thing is this is where we do film, and now again, I'm guessing this is the right light.
Keep going, it feels like.
How about that? Truly a guess. So any film that we do, this is like yesterday I did something, we did film and then I put it up and I did something that we've got to do. And so we meet, if we're meeting before practice or after, we'll meet in here.
What's behind this message, though? Like, multiple things. The best, refuse to lose, and what you're stressing here on defense and offense. What's the goal here when you talk to these young men?
My belief, and it's always been this, the battle they fight is the one with themselves. And if they can't win that battle, you can't battle anybody else anymore. So your first fight is with you. And that means getting up in the morning, being where you're supposed to be, loving walking in the gym, overcoming video games versus really spending time at basketball, having your time set. So get in all the stuff you want to get in, but you're organized. So part of this is your belief in yourself and in your team, but belief. Some of it's blind faith. Then the second part of it is the only way they really get better is if they have great enjoyment. Like they love coming in, they love being coached, they love being challenged, they love being held accountable. And then they walk off after a great day, and instead of feeling miserable, they just went 2.5 hours, nonstop, competitive, everything is, and they walk off, this was the greatest. Or do you walk off, I can't believe this, I can't, you know.
Yep.
And then the self-talk.
Which is surprising. You have some of the best players in the country, and this is one of them. What are you dealing with the
Even the
self-talk?
best. See, you see someone that's 6'10", and 230 and think they're a grown man. They're not.
Yeah.
They're still 18, 19, 17, whatever they are. And my thing is, if you can't be your biggest cheerleader, and if it takes me, I got to be the guy that talks. You got to be self-talk, build yourself up, be your own cheerleader.
It's the internal voice constant, right?
Yeah, 80% of your thoughts are going to be negative. How do you push them out?
Yeah.
Your self-talk. How do you get yourself to the positive? And then the last thing, and this is both mental and physical, the toughness part. And that's a champion's mindset. So I do stuff like that because I need them. If you have an hour meeting, you lost them after 10 minutes. So our stuff is usually 10 to 15 minutes, bang and move. Winning time, getting them to understand, here's what we're trying to do. This is what it is on offense and defense, the last 4 minutes of the game. All right, we're up, it's tied, it's a 2-point game. What are we looking to do? And I try to get on that early. So now over here, this is where they do play video games.
How important is this right here, this lounge, when we talk about the practice time of 2.5 hours, the constant, hey, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, to have the chance to decompress?
Yeah, but here's what I would say to you. The best players I've had are steady, 1. 2, love to be in the gym. They're gym rats. At heart, that's what they do. This chair right here, you take a picture of this. This was, I'm going to say 40, 50% of the time, Tyler Hero's bed. So he would work out, do his thing, and then come in, and if I walked in the morning, he had a blanket over him. What are you doing, man? What are you here? Yeah, I was here late, so I just came in here and I fell asleep.
Gym rat.
Absolute gym rat. Tyler Hero's chair. That's where he would sleep. Now, not all the time, but if you ask him, did you sleep in the practice facility? He would tell you yes. So having, and then the other piece of it here at Kentucky, my best players are always good teammates. So, yeah, we had the number 1 pick. He averaged 14 points. Anthony Davis, I think, averaged 15, 16. I mean, they were number 1 picks. So we had lottery picks that averaged 9 points and 6 rebounds. Lottery picks. Yeah. They understand about sharing, about if we win at the highest level, everyone eats.
35 first-round picks, 23 lottery picks, 3 first number 1 picks.
I think it's over 40, but that's
Well,
okay. You're okay.
I think over 40 is drafted, period, right? I think that...
You know better than me. I don't look at the numbers. I can just, there's one number I do know.
What?
Though, what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Collectively?
Yeah.
Not endorsements. It's over $4 billion in contracts. And it isn't, I don't have a magic wand. It's a culture.
Yeah.
It's, are you willing to share so we all can eat? How do you get 4 lottery picks on the same team? How does that happen? I do something special? No, they share. And then they all 4 you.
Yeah.
On those groups, we did it twice. The number 1 pick was still in that group. So even though he shared, he still was number 1.
Yeah.
And the other, it's hard. Now, let me say this. They are talented, 5-star. You can't, they're talented.
Yeah.
But they come here and just accept I'm going to have to share.
Yeah.
I'm going to be part of this. And I'm not taking all the shots.
Yep.
Like, I got to be able to say, what if so-and-so has it going? Then that game, he scores 40. And you accept it. You scored 8. Well, Next game it may be me. So this part of this, that they know this is here for them, and then they will be in these chairs when they want to put on the Normatec, which is the sleeves that they, rejuvenate their legs. They also have shoulder things and all that.
Yep.
But now,
one thing that really stands out in this lounge is this mural. I mean, when you look at all the pros and the
let me ask you, are they just in the league or are they like...
No, impact players.
Yeah,
How do you keep track of all of these guys on a nightly basis when you have relationships with each one? What do you do?
So I don't, some of them, they're, look, in the morning when I walk in, every morning they'll put a sheet on my desk of the games my guys played in, did they win or lose, and what were their stats. So let's say Jamal Murray, Denver beat so-and-so, Jamal had 21 points and 10 rebounds or whatever he did. And then it goes right down. Some days there are 30.
Yeah.
Some days there's 5. But every day, and then because of the new social media, I can text. So if I want somebody to respond.
What do you say?
If they had 35, I said, I heard you had a great game, you had 29 points, and within a second they will text me back, I had 35, I didn't have 29. So if I want them to respond, I'll give them the wrong number. But that's what I try to do. Some of them respond, some of them don't. I'm fine. I just want them to know I'm still watching and I'm
like
still cheering.
Opening the sliding door and looking at them on the court. I'm still here with you.
And if they know, if there's stuff going on, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
There'll be guys that I'm trying to help get back in or do this, and doing it in the round, I think is important, where they're addressing each other. You have all the stuff, the video board stuff, and then you see everybody that has a name here. We've been waiting for 3 months for this, but he does have a locker. It must be locked. Yes, I don't want to open it.
That's your Croatian star.
Yes.
I mean, when we talk about this team
Big Z. I call him Big Z. Why do I call him Big Z?
What?
Well, pronounce his first
Well,
name.
you just
Pronounce it.
Zavinderer?
Yeah,
Zavinderer?
just call him Big Z.
Big Z, that's what we'll go with?
Yeah.
But when we look at some of these names, how cool is this? You get to coach, DeJuan's son DJ. What's that like for you?
How about a Duke Thiero? I coached his dad.
What's that like?
You tell me if you're me. And I'm not easy. I'm hard. And it's not I'm cussing, I'm swearing, I'm kicking, I'm throwing balls. No. The bar is high. And I hope if I have to do it in a loud way, I will. I hope I don't have to, but I will. But yet they still want their sons to play for me. And when I was coaching him, I was a different soul then. That was 18, 20 years ago.
That was amped up, John.
I would do backflips. And that means something. We're recruiting another couple kids where their fathers, I coached, want them to play for me. Just a funny story. So I go to Moss Point, Mississippi, because I'm recruiting Devin Booker. I walk in the gym. It's 100 degrees in the gym, by the way. And I walk in, and his dad greets me, Melvin Booker. He goes, and he said, Coach Melvin, do you remember me? Why should I remember you?
Yeah.
He said, I played for you. What? And I go, wait a minute. I know he didn't play for me at UMass.
Yeah.
I coached the Buckler Challenge, and he played on that team.
Wow.
15, 16 years before. So I said, did you have fun? Did you? Yes. Did I let you shoot all the balls? He said, pretty much. I said, good, we're good.
We're good, yeah.
But I didn't remember that when I first saw him, it didn't register. I played for you. So it ended up working out good for us. It worked out well for his son. Great father. Really did a great job of preparing. Now, when I coached Devin, he was 17.
Mm-hmm.
He was 17.
Yeah.
So Michael Kidd was 17 too. So I've coached some really young players that have gone on to, like again, we had the platoons one year.
Yes.
Well, I had no choice. I had 10 really good players.
Exactly.
I could either play 10 or play 7.
Yeah.
Well, I said I'm going to choose to play 10, which meant the Twins had led us to the national championship game the year before.
Mm-hmm.
They were twins. You're not splitting up twins.
No.
So they started every game. Tyler Eulis and Devin started every second half. So if you started the game,
Yes.
the other guys started the second half. So, to make that clear,
Yeah.
everybody played between 20 and 21, 19 minutes. Stats didn't matter. We won our first 38 games. Probably should have won the national title that year. His 4th year, he texted me, would I have started on senior night?
What did you say?
I just said probably. Probably. But that was a hard year to coach because some of the guys were better, but they weren't that much better.
Yeah.
Some of the guys were older, which gave them a leg up. Mm-hmm. But if you asked me early, probably Carl Towns would have been a guy that you say, wait a minute, he was behind those other guys early, and then he took off. Number 1 player.
How do you coach this group specifically that you know? Because you have a couple 7-footers, you have a bunch of young stars that are seasoned.
So what's happened for me? All our 7-footers are out. Mm-hmm. So now,
for now,
yes. So hopefully one will join us here shortly, and he'll start. The other 2 are out another 5 or 6, 7 weeks.
Got it.
So we're having guys play different positions now, which in the long haul will help them, but it makes it hard. You're wondering, is offense that good, or we just don't have a shot blocker? But it's, trying to, I'm doing like we're doing the pro day, it's going to be a lot of 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Why? Because now we got 8 guys.
Yeah.
9, and then I'm playing walk-ons because we got these guys out. So, but it's good because you give court space, you look at more opportunity to do stuff, but with a shot blocker, it changes. My best teams that have won 38, 35, whatever it was, Final Fours, national title, always had a rim protector. And the teams that didn't have that struggled. And struggling here means you won 25 games, or 22 games, or 24 games.
The standard is
and you lost in the NCAA tournament before you got to an Elite 8 or 5. Well, then that's a disaster. But those teams did not have that rim protection. Now, Seth and I, Seth, I call him every year about the 1-3-1, and I never run it. So, but I do call him and check. Tell me again how to do a 1-3-1. But with this group, I could play 3 7-footers. Big Z and Aaron are like 4s, 3s. Ugana, so you could play a 2-3 zone.
Yeah.
That'd be huge.
Yes.
And now play with 2 guards and those 3 guys and have 2 of them. So I'm going to do it. You what?
I can't wait. I look forward to it. And honestly, this is a private place. Thanks for letting us in here.
Yeah, and I never come in here. They've got hot tubs, ice tubs, all their stuff, 7-foot showers and all that stuff. They got a massage room right there. I never come in here.
Yeah.
So this is not my space. And then one other, we have to walk this way. Come here. So what was the year that the UConn player said, I can't even afford a hamburger?
2013, 2014, I think.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, because we weren't allowed to give them peanuts.
It was Napier, yep.
Yeah, we gave them a bagel, but we could not give them cream cheese. Oh, we got arrested. Oh, you got fired.
Cream cheese?
You could not give cream cheese. You could give them a bagel, but no cream cheese.
Come on.
You will be fired as a coach. Anyway, now, after Napier, that should be the Napier rule.
Yeah.
Because within a week, that rule changed because everybody said they can't be doing it that way. Yes, they were. So now they have a kitchen in here where they can come and grab whatever they want, whenever they want to. And so now And how about this? I won't get fired over this. So
Hey, where is the cream cheese? All right.
it's in there somewhere. I don't even know what's down there. Oh yeah, they got Uncrustables. So if they want snacks or they want to come and grab something here, they can.
Thank you for the tour here inside.
You're always welcome, but this is in-house, so don't share with anybody.
I'm with you. It'll be our secret.